Well, hello, boys and girls. Once again, it's time for story time. Now, for the next 4 weeks, I have a series of books all about heroes of our faith, people who lived pretty recently and were amazing in their walks with the Lord. Oh, they did great things while they lived on earth. But you know what? Before they became adults and did great things, they were children, just like you. And the stories all begin when they were children. So the first wonderful lady we are going to read about is Amy Carmichael. And the name of this book is Can Brown Eyes Be Made Blue? These books are written by Catherine Mackenzie. Can Brown Eyes Be Made Blue? Amy Carmichael lived in a big, tall house by the ocean with her father, her mother, her brother Norman, and her little brother Ernest. Amy and her brothers would often get into mischief together. Do you get into mischief? Amy liked to think up new and exciting games to play, but what Amy really longed for was an adventure. Do you like adventure? Oh, Amy did. One day, Amy wanted to sail out to sea. It would be so exciting, she thought. Come on, she yelled at her mischievous brothers. Let's find a rowing boat. And when they arrived at the beach, they were hot and out of breath. It didn't take them long before they found a little boat tied up on the sands. Soon they were off. Hooray! Hooray! Amy squealed. We're going on a real adventure now. Do you see them out on the ocean? They enjoyed it at first. It was very exciting indeed. But when they got tired, they wanted to go home. The strong winds and the choppy waves meant that they couldn't turn the boat around. They kept sailing further and further and further out to sea. What were they going to do? Amy had an idea. Let's sing as loudly as we can, she said. A sailor on the shore heard her and came to the rescue. Amy's mother gave them a telling off when they got home. That means they got in trouble. Sailing out to sea is highly dangerous, she exclaimed. Amy decided not to play that game ever again. One day, Amy and her brothers climbed onto the house roof. It would be a great place to see the ocean, Amy thought. And it was. But they got stuck. When Amy's father saw them, he got the fright of his life. He ran upstairs and pulled his children in back through the bathroom window. Amy's father told her that climbing roofs was highly dangerous. Amy decided not to play that game anymore. Another day, Amy was told that eating plum stones would make her ill. I wonder if that's really true, she thought. So Amy sat down and ate 12 plum stones. That's the seed of a plum. One after the other. Amy felt very, very sick. Her parents told her that eating plum stones was highly dangerous and terribly silly. Amy decided not to play that game anymore. One morning, Amy lifted up her looking glass. She saw her long dark hair and her soft brown eyes, but her face was sad. Brown eyes are boring, Amy grumbled. She went downstairs and watched her mother make the breakfast. Why did God give me brown eyes and not blue? Amy wondered. I'd look pretty if I had blue eyes. Amy sighed. What a strange thing to say, laughed her mother. I think your eyes are beautiful, Amy. Afterwards, when her mother was clearing away the dishes, Amy asked, "God answers prayers, doesn't he?" "Yes, Amy, he does," replied her mother. "He will answer my prayers, won't he?" Amy asked. "Yes, Amy, he will," her mother smiled. "He will answer my prayers tonight." Amy jumped for joy as she ran into the garden. Amy's mother was a bit puzzled. What is Amy up to now? She wondered. That night, Amy prayed to God, "Please give me blue eyes." But the next morning, they were still brown. "Why hasn't God answered my prayer?" Amy cried. Amy's mother gave her a hug. "God always answers prayers," she smiled. "Sometimes he says yes, sometimes no, and sometimes wait. This time, God said no." "But why?" Amy asked, puzzled. "I don't know why, Amy," her mother replied. "But maybe one day you will." Sometime later, Amy went on an adventure to India. She wanted to tell the people there about the love of Jesus. Very few people knew about the one true God. Some even sold their babies to temple priests. The priests did not look after these children, so Amy tried to rescue as many as she could. Often in the middle of the night, she would run off on really big adventures to rescue babies and bring them home to live with her. One night, Amy crept up to the temple door and listened. A baby was crying. Quickly, Amy ran. She picked up the baby and cuddled her. The baby looked up at Amy's soft brown eyes and smiled. Amy smiled back. "I know why God gave me brown eyes," Amy thought as she walked quickly home. Brown eyes are not scary for little Indian babies. Blue eyes would be too strange for them. When God said no, he gave me just the right answer. Amy was a girl who was into much mischief as a child. Do you get into mischief and trouble? Do you know what? Her adventurous spirit led her to do great things for the Lord. She would rescue many, many children, and she set up an orphanage for them where she loved and took care of them. And she had great adventures where she shared and showed the love of Jesus to many. Now, this is a wonderful story about Amy, and next week at Storytime, we're going to learn about Hudson Taylor. And the name of the book is Could Somebody Pass the Salt? See you next week.